and playing up to the expectations that we're capable, then that's my job. I'm a quarterback. That's what my job is, to try to get us going and to try to rally us. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And sometimes it's getting on people and trying to raise the level, the sense of urgency, and raising my voice and trying to create a different vibration for the whole offense.
Okay, so that's an explanation, and it's certainly by no means the first time we have seen him or many other people do similar-looking things on sidelines. One thing that I think has to be brought up in this conversation for those who are not aware, Brady's longtime boss and very close friend, Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, got married on Friday night here in New York City. Tom Brady attended the wedding and then met the rest of his team in Pittsburgh on Saturday for the game. From what we understand, he missed a walkthrough and a meeting. Todd Bowles, the head coach, said afterwards he didn't miss any practice and suggested it had nothing to do with the game. That said, it certainly raised a lot of eyebrows. Marcus, I'll start with you. Do you have an issue with Brady going to the wedding on Friday night?
Yes. And first of all, what the hell Robert Kraft doing getting married during football season? That's a problem within itself. Here's the thing, man. I have a big issue with this because it's coming off of the heels. First of all, let's like go chronologically through this. Tom Brady retires, okay? Situations change. Dudes make decisions off of that. He decides to unretire and come back to Tampa. All right, so that reshifts what they're doing in Tampa. Great. The GOAT is back. We got a chance. We Super Bowl contenders. Training camp begins. Tom Brady takes an 11-day hiatus. It was already planned and talked about. Okay, fine. Nobody tripping about that. It's good. It's Tom Brady. He got Super Bowls. He been MVPs. He's considered the greatest of all time. We get into the season, and you leave for a wedding. Now, unfortunately, the wedding lends itself to playing bad on Sunday. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I just know it happened. All right, a team that we left for dead in the Pittsburgh Steelers came out and got a win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who a lot of people considered one of the Super Bowl favorites to come out of the NFC because Tom Brady is the quarterback. And then we watch him on the sideline go off. And to your point, G, I'm glad you said it. We just seen quarterbacks do this. We saw Jeff Saturday almost knock the hell out of Peyton Manning because Peyton was talking crazy on the sideline when they was playing. This ain't the first time we done seen this happen. The problem is when you look at these dudes in the face and they don't really know if you fully committed to what y'all doing, Tom Brady is the GOAT. All right, let's get that out of the way. But also, there is a season to be played. Today is October 18, 2022. You know what them championships matter today? Nothing. It don't matter. And how we are programmed and what we are learned in football is what have you done for me lately? Every season is a new season. And the problem in Tampa right now, when we see Tom go off on this offensive lineman like that, is you got to ask the question of if these guys are asking, like, damn, Tom, like, we respect you, we love you, but dog, we don't even know where you at right now. We don't even know if you fully committed to what we doing right now. So that's why I think it's a problem at.
I'm glad he brought up Peyton Manning because that is the person to whom Tom will always be compared and contrasted. And you, of course, were there with Peyton all those years. Could you just imagine the circumstance?
Not even, dude, don't even let it come out your mouth. Ain't no freaking way, bro. I'm just telling you, like, listen, Peyton Manning, he sells it for commercials. He'll shoot any commercial known to man. We see him all the time. But let me tell you something. In the offseason, I'm not talking about the season. In the offseason, he would go shoot his commercial and be back to make sure he did not miss a team event in the offseason. He dang sure wouldn't think about doing anything in the season. And here is my thing. Let's just talk about the normal schedule for football teams on a Friday. You're normally done 2-ish. You're going to go to a wedding in New York, great. So you jump on your private jet, you go up, watch this, go see Robert Kraft, get married, do whatever, see all your boys, dap them up. Get your butt back on the plane, fly home that you can dang sure afford, sit down with your team, and then travel to Pittsburgh. Listen, there's a lot of dudes in the NFL that go out on Friday night. I know that's a shock to people, but there are people who do things, right? Mm-hmm. So my issue is not only that the meeting and the time with your teammates was secondary, That's my biggest issue, because at some point you have everything at your disposal that you could do and still be with the team. To say Peyton Manning, when I tell you no chance, I mean that dude, something tragic. I mean, that's the only way he's missing anything.
To think that Tom Brady would do this sounds absurd too, because Tom Brady is just as obsessive as Peyton Manning. And I don't know necessarily that the players on the team are looking at him questioning how committed he is, but I do think that there's something to be said for certain leaders on the team. Their behavior sets the culture of the team, the things that are acceptable. And so if Tom Brady is going to take 11-day hiatus, and it's not just one of these things, it's the fact that he's doing all of these things.
Yeah.
I don't think that anyone's sitting around like, well, Tom's not committed, but I do think that guys who would see that example of Tom Brady being there extra time. Tom Brady's like setting up practices outside on high school football fields. Tom Brady doing all that stuff. That demonstrates to them that the expectation is we're all going to do a little bit more. Yeah. Right now, he is setting an example as like he is the culture. He is the organization. Now he's setting an example that sometimes there are
But you're saying they're not questioning. That's why you do question.
Oh, but I think
because you've seen it. You've seen it go the other way.
Let me get Kraz in.
Something in you would question it, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, let's say Greeny stopped showing up for the 6 o'clock meeting, right? And he had something else to do, right? And then like in a break, we had a bad segment. And he's screaming in our faces about how we need to be better. Part of you would be thinking, where were you when we were prepping the show, right?
Yeah, you just went off. You went off the rails a little bit. But I
said if. This is not happening. This is a hypothetical. But the fact of the matter is, like, in your head somewhere, you'd be thinking, dude, where were you?
No,
that's a big part of this.
It's a good analogy.
If you're gonna do the wedding thing, you better show up and beat one of the worst teams in the league. Like, if you lose this game, now you've opened yourself up to all this.
You know, it was funny when Tony Dungy was our coach. It was always about, man, what do you think perception and reality is? Because perception is a big deal, and if you don't show up for something and then you play bad, you just add on. So his whole thing is leave no doubt of where you sit from a team perspective. Yeah. The team during the season always comes first. Other than family, it always comes first. So the perception is a huge deal. That he's not doing it, whether it affects the game or not, makes no difference.
Yeah. It was lost on no one that Bill Belichick was not there.
Preach.
That to my knowledge, none of the active Patriot players were there. I could be wrong. Any of them, I'm sure, were back on Saturday. Listen, had they gone out and beaten Pittsburgh 38-3 or whatever it was, like Buffalo did, then we wouldn't be talking about this. And thus, maybe it's ridiculous. 15 seconds, Marcus, go.
There's a reverence we have to talk to this about because of Tom Brady's history. But that's why I pointed out, like, it's October 18th.
Touchdown.
It's a breakdown in coverage. Russ spies the open man and scores a touchdown. Going to be a good night, right, guys?
Wilson
for J.C. Jack.
Russell 10 for his first 10. Broncos up 10-0, but then, Jeff Saturday, you love Austin Eckler.
Look at that young fella in the Thunderdome, making people pay the toll. Keep driving them legs. I see your offensive lineman shoving them in. Started off early, baby.
So it's 10-7 later in the half, tied at 10. Russell with pressure in his face.
This is an outstanding throw to get it out there. It's not pretty, but with a guy on his lap to complete that pass, deep ball, Russell Wilson is the Russell Wilson we love.
47 yards to KJ Hamler, sets up a field goal. 13-10 Denver. Second half, vastly different. What you will see here is a couple of bad-looking plays.
Yeah, and this is the Russ we've come to expect given what we've seen this season. It started good, but it got ugly.
He's almost picked off there. Now here he is. They're all over him, Nate.
Yeah, he's got to be able to read this blitz, at least know it's coming and get rid of it quick to that slot receiver.
The Broncos' offense in the second half was non-existent. Fourth quarter tied at 13. Here comes Herbert. What happens when the ball gets tipped?
Oh, interception, turnover time, tip drill. Oh, don't turn it back over, though.
Baron Browning, he fumbled it, but they get it back.
Get on
so
that
the
money.
Broncos would kick a field goal, go up 16-13, just over 5 minutes to go. How about Herbert, Jeff Saturday? Under pressure here, we're going to see a pass interference on the throw to Joshua Palmer. Critical call. Is it a good call?
Yeah, it's a good call. Listen, they got called the whole night. Both teams played sloppy football. You pay the price on an enormous down.
It was a festival of flags. Field goal leads it to overtime. And the way this game was played, Neat, you knew it would come down to a mistake.
Yeah, this is a sad way to end the game, but the game was kind of sad all night. So muff punt to set up an injured kick. Yeah.
That's what it was. Justin Hopkins was hurt. He limped onto the field to kick a 39-yarder. Watch him go to his knees after kicking it. They actually have to pick him up after he kicks the game winner, but it counts. Chargers get the win, 19-16. After the game, Russell Wilson, let's talk.
I think the sense of urgency has to go up now, even that much more, every day, and the season's not over. There's a lot more to do. The only thing that matters is us winning. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The only thing that matters is us winning and finding a way.
Let's be as direct as we can. If you did not stay up for this game last night, in the second half, Denver basically didn't have an offense. They went 3 and out on 4 of their 7 drives, and those are Russell Wilson's number. 3 of 11 for 15 yards. That is the fewest yards he's ever had in any half in his NFL career. Marcus Spears, I start with you. It's one thing